Hi guys, and today I thought we'd have a bit of fun with makeup. I wanted to experiment on the do's and don'ts of makeup. This is just my opinion, so it's up to you how you apply your makeup. But I wanted to show you and have some fun with it, to show you how application can make the world of difference when you're doing your face. So what I've done today is I've cleansed, I've toned and I've moisturised my skin today. And on this side, I've applied some primer, and on that side, I haven't. And so what I'm going to do is I'll probably start with the eyebrows first and show you the way I don't think it should be done, but that's just my opinion. And then the way that I would normally do my eyebrows. It's entirely up to you, but I just thought we'd have some fun with it, and you can see the before and the after, and you decide which side is better. So I hope you enjoy and keep watching. And what I see a lot of women do with eyebrows is a bit bizarre to me. They have this square thing going on at the front and it's not natural. It depends on how you do it. There's a subtle way of doing it, but what I often see is a very square, harsh eyebrow, and all that does is draw attention to your eyebrows, but it just doesn't look natural. So I think that sort of defeats the whole purpose of framing your face. It just looks like everything's focusing on those eyebrows and nothing else. Also, some women tend to use a really dark eyebrow pencil, and again it makes the eyebrows far too heavy. So I'm going to do this side, which is the don't side, with a darker eyebrow pencil, and I'll try and square it off, and I'll show you what I mean about being too heavy and overly done. Okay, so I'll try it now. Right, so this is the sort of thing I'm talking about. It's far too heavy at the front here. It goes on far too long as well. There's no natural fade to it. It just doesn't look natural, I don't think. And often, sometimes you see it coloured in even more, and where they use like a gel on the top just to enhance it even further. Now, if you think that looks great, good. If not, let's see how I would probably do my eyebrows. Okay, so I would go for much lighter colour. My hair is brown, my skin is olive, so I want my eyebrows to blend in with the tone of my skin. So I would use this one, and I would start at the top of the eyebrow and pencil in. Very light strokes, nothing too heavy, and a nice natural start and finish to the eyebrow. Where it would naturally go, that's where I'm placing or emphasising the eyebrows. Now obviously you can go a little bit higher in the centre there to give your eye a lift, but nothing too out there. You don't want it to look fake, you just want it to look natural enough. So I'm penciling in nice light strokes, a nice mid-brown colour. And there you go. Now I would probably, on top of that, I would go and accentuate it a little bit with my Dip and Brow gel eyebrow definer. But I would probably start towards the centre and go towards the end. If you do it right at the beginning, again, it's too heavy. So I would start halfway, just a little bit. And for me, that's a much more natural look than that one. Hope you agree. So now we're going to move on to eyeshadow. I think with eyeshadows, what's really important is to change your brush according to what you're doing on the eye area. A lot of women use one brush and they try and do the whole eye, and it just looks a mess to me. You can see that the colours aren't well defined, or they're using the wrong shape brush. I don't know, but it sometimes looks a bit of a mess. So what I would suggest is when you're doing your eyes, try and use the right brush for that particular area. So for example, if you're doing the top of the eyelid, you need something flat. It's a nice flat brush to pack the eyeshadow on. I would then probably use a more fluffy brush to do a transition colour above the eyelid, and so on. You get the gist of what I'm saying. So what I'll show you is what will happen if you don't do that. If you just use one brush, one size fits all sort of thing, it just doesn't work. I'll pack that on. Move up there like that. Same brush. I'll probably use the transition colour. And again, probably go too far up because the brush is just not the right brush for what the purposes I'm using it for. Then I'd go for a darker colour as a sort of darker colour on the arch of the eye, the bone area. So I'll use the same brush and do that. And then blend it all in. And obviously I'm going to need to highlight the top of the eye as well. So you could use a lighter colour, like a whitish colour up here. I'm using the same brush. I'll go in and I'm trying to put a lighter colour on the top. But it's not really working because I've got all the other colours on here. And then I might decide, oh, I'm going to put a bit of highlighter on the top as well so that it has a nice little glow and a sheen to it. So I'll dip into a highlighter with the same brush and I'll do that as well. So there you go. There is my eye. Okay, all a bit of a mess. I think I wouldn't do it like that at all. Apply the mascara on. Voila, and they're good to go. It's not bad. No, doesn't really work for me. So what I would do, and on the eyelid area, I'd pack the light colour in. I would then, with a slightly fluffier brush, I'd go for a transition colour. So again, exactly the same colour that I used before. And I'd sweep that on just above the eyelid area. Not too high. And then with a separate brush, a nice clean brush and a nice fluffy rounded brush, I will blend. So you've got no harsh lines. Like so. More pointed brush for the darker colour. Tap off any excess and I'll just do the bone area. Like that. And then with the eyelash curler, if I want to add some highlight, I would use a nice clean brush, like a special contouring highlighter powder, clean brush, just below the brow, but above the eyeshadow, just highlight that area, nice and subtle, like that. So I hope you can see the difference between those two eyes. One's a much sort of cleaner, sharper look than the other one. I'm going to apply some eyeliner now just to finish off the eyes. I'm going to use a liquid eyeliner on the good eye, and I'm just going to give it a nice slight winged effect just to lift that eye area up a bit. It's just a nice soft line above the eyelash with a nice wing effect at the end, like that. And how not to do it on this side. Far too heavy, far too high there, so it looks a bit, doesn't look very nice at all. Some eyeliner on this side, nice plummy colour. And I've applied that straight across. I haven't gone up like that with it, just straight across and filled in the corner. So that's given it a nice effect. If I was going to do this eye the wrong way, I would choose sort of dark black pencil and do your eyeliner. So as you can see, both the eyes are done exactly the same, but they look slightly different. One's a bit more natural than the other eye. So now we're going to go on to contouring and blusher. Right, this is my absolute favourite. I love to see bad contouring. Just me. I think a lot of women use the wrong colour to contour. It's either it's too heavy, too dark, and they go way too far down their face to the down here, and also too low. It doesn't look right. So this is the bad side, as you can see with the eye makeup. So let's put some contouring on. So I'm going to go for a shade of contour. Now this is a bronzer that I'm using as contouring to show you. That bronzer is sort of a rich sort of copper mahogany type colour, and I would use this as a contour maybe in the midst of summer, in the height of summer, when I'm really golden and dark. I would probably use this, but only a touch of it because it's quite strong. I'd use my flat brush, which I always use for contouring, so I'll dab a bit in, and this is how I wouldn't do it. I'd start here and too low, and I would do it like this. Now, bearing in mind, this is the side of my face where I haven't put any primer on. And already I can tell that there's no primer on that side. It looks to me very patchy. Doesn't look good at all. Put some down the side of my nose. And to me, that looks like a bruise. And I would usually contour my forehead as well, just to give it a nice sort of warm look, not sort of flat. It just makes it look more 3D and softer if you contour the hairline. But again, I've noticed a lot of people put the contouring on their forehead in the wrong place, so they put it like here, like that. Just look, it looks like it just looks awful. It's a mess. I hate it. So that's what they'd do, and they'd probably get a big brush and they'd fluff it out like this and think, yeah, that's great, that's lovely, yeah. Doesn't look good to me. I don't know what you think. Doesn't look good to me. So, and then on top of that, they put their blush. And the sort of blush I wouldn't put on top of that is a blush that has got some sort of glistening pigment to it. I can tell straight away that that would be a disaster, right? So I'm going to try it and let me know what you think. So this is a MAC blush and it's got a sheen to it. Far too heavy. A bit of a car crash really, isn't it? Not very nice. So that's how I wouldn't do it. Okay, more golden colour. That is more like my natural tone, but slightly darker. I'm going to use a clean brush. And where I would start my contour is right at the top here, just below that bone. I wouldn't go down here like that. I would go up here. Like that. It's quite soft and subtle. See the difference? I mean, that's okay for a photo shoot or something if you're, I don't know what you'd be doing to do that, but I think that's a little bit more natural. And then I would use the same brush and I'd go along the hairline. I wouldn't go on the temple area, I'd go on the hairline, just dab a little bit. And that's it. And then I would blend that in. And then I would add a bit of blush. And the blush that I would use would be a nice sort of pinky peachy colour, something uplifting and natural, more natural. So let me see, and I'll go for sort of these two colours, a mix between these two. And there you go. That's my contouring on the good side. And this side I've also used some primer. So I don't know if you can see the difference. That looks very cakey. And even on the side here where I put the eyeshadow, it doesn't blend as well as it does where I've put the primer on that side of my face. I think that makes me look years older actually, that side. Don't know if you think the same. Okay, so that's what I would do. Now, when it comes to highlighting the cheekbone area, again, what I don't like to see I mean, what's going on? What is going on? It just, to me, that just looks horrendous. And yet I often see women walking around like that. Well, I don't know. Do you like that? Instead, what I would do is add a little bit, there's probably enough on that brush anyway, and just dab a little bit on the top of the cheek area, just dabbing it, to give the illusion of some glow, some sheen. So that's that side, the good side, and the bad side. Which do you prefer? Okay, so that's my contouring. Should we go on to lips? Right, so lip colour. Okay, so bad side. What lip colour would look lovely with that? A heavy, dark colour? No, but that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put a nice dark colour on top of all this and let's see what happens. I'm going to go for a sort of a mulberry dark lipstick. I'd like to go for a red, a really rich red to show you how ridiculous it would look, but I don't own or possess a red lipstick. I wish I did actually, because occasionally it would be nice to wear red lipstick, but I tend to go for very neutral colours, so it'd be wasted on me. Okay, so let's go for this dark colour. Oh, what do you think? Sexy? Not really. I look more like a drag queen. It just looks like I've put everything on with a trowel, doesn't it? I just don't think I could go out looking like that. Anyway, That's a very dark colour. What I would probably do is go for a much lighter colour. It's a little bit softer. And then on top of that, just to tone it down even more. So there you have it. Neutral side, heavy side. Heavy? What do you think? I think a lot of it depends on how you look after your skin as well. So if you cleanse, tone, moisturise and put a primer on and use clean brushes, the right colours and the right placement of where you're putting your makeup, it makes a big difference. So yeah, I hope you really enjoyed this. It was good fun to do and I'll see you next time. So don't forget the notification bell at the end, okay? I've really enjoyed today's video and I'll see you soon. Bye.